All right. Scorpios, welcome back. So Scorpios, we're going to do a storytelling right now where, because our backdrop is, yes, it's very simple right now, but it's not at the same time, right? Because every single brick matters. Every single brick to make a brick wall has to be there because that's what supports the next layer of the foundation. So we're going to tell a story that is going to be like every little piece of it is equally as important, and we're going to take our time with it a little bit. It may be very highly specific with each message, but that's okay. Sometimes I like those. We have anomaly. Well, something shouldn't have been, and yet it is. You notice how we have like a beautiful white shining crow. While everybody else is the standard black crow, we have one beautiful, uniquely different colored bird here that is still one of the same, but they just look, they are the anomaly. They're the one that stands out. So I'm going to begin by saying it appears that maybe somebody does have like for their family, it's like everybody else has, blue eyes, but then I'm the one who has dark brown eyes, or vice versa. Everybody has brown eyes. I'm the one who has that recessive gene, and I wound up with the blue eyes. It's I'm the unusual in my family, or I'm the one who, there is something different. I'm the only person in my entire, environment who speaks, a particular language that is, very few people speak it, but I happen to. It just, something is unique about our person. They stand out. This is our Scorpio stands out in a particular way. And it may be that they are very enlightened, and that could be the anomaly here. Others, you notice how they have kind of like a glow about them also. Even there's an aura to this person, and maybe that in and of itself, maybe this person has maybe Scorpio has repetitiously been told, wow, you're really easy to spot in a crowd. It's like there's a spotlight over you. Or, wow, I don't know, there's something about like your eyes are like practically glowing right now. Or somebody says, wow, your hair is like, it's so shiny. It doesn't matter what color somebody's hair is. It could be black and shining, but there's something that makes our character very visible to others. Others who they can't put their finger on what it is that makes our Scorpio stand out, but our Scorpio does. Undoubtedly, they do. That can sometimes be annoying to feel like, great, here we go. I know somebody's going to say, wow, why are you so shiny? Why this? Why that? To the point where Scorpio could take it as like a negative thing, and it's not at all. Just like, to be an albino is like super rare and beautiful, but in some cultures that's extremely like poorly received, and it's just so unfortunate that someone is not seen as the beautiful and unique individual that they are. We have Prince of Discs. This is slow moving energy, but this could be that somebody is an anomaly because they have a throwback skill to an older time frame. This could be somebody who carries on, like, I'm picturing, I know he's putting on a wagon wheel, but I'm picturing somebody who does like spinning of wool, with the old, wheel, or it's someone who still builds a house, but they only use hand tools like old-fashioned saws and things. This could also be somebody who's very intrigued, and they know a ton about like early settlers' life. They reenact different things, or they are a part of a group that kind of carries on old traditions. They can teach really old, almost lost arts, or lost ways of doing certain things. Like they have skill sets that the average person no longer has. This is also reminding me of like like a Amish, even though it's a modern world, still there are groups of people that still cling to like really amazing skill sets from the past and continue to honor those things. That could be something along the lines of what we're discussing right now. Somebody has skills that it's like, wait, you can do what? And this is very specific too, but maybe somebody can do lots and lots of different really beautiful bird whistles or animal sounds. I've only known 2 people in my life that are like incredible with bird whistles, and it's stunning. It was the most, oh, I was so wishing I could do that. I have no gift for whistling at all, but I loved it. We have the Tower. So this somebody is changing their opinion like suddenly about Scorpio. First off, Scorpio is like larger than life in their mind. They think Scorpio is something of a, I want to say, like a mythical creature. Like they can't quite believe Scorpio exists. They're kind of still slow to even fully comprehend, like, oh my God, you can do that? You mean this is who you are? You have this gift, you have this skill. They're kind of blown away by our Scorpio. And then it's like full blown, like understanding what Scorpio is, or the skill set that Scorpio possesses, or the way they really truly are. There's no like smoke and, gags and, Scorpio's not being like a magician on stage. This is really who they are. These are really the gifts that they possess. They really are someone who's really unique. I think that this is a mind-blowing moment for this character. Whomever this is, they could be an Aries. They've been watching Scorpio for a while and been like, are they for real? Are they for real? We've got an 8 of Cups. Did Scorpio do something really remarkable that they are noteworthy for, but they never mentioned it? And someone has discovered that slowly or casually. They've discovered something that is unique to Scorpio, that they did something really remarkable and they did it themselves, or they're a trailblazer, or sometimes, we can sit down next to somebody and we don't realize who we're sitting next to for a while. Someone doesn't know what kind of a life we've really lived, or they don't know that, I've met famous people I had no idea were famous. I had no clue that's who I was sitting next to. And then by the end of the flight, I figured out who it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, you were that person? You were in that movie? I saw that. You were amazing, but you're so different than that character. I never would have known you, not. And then it was like, oh, obviously that's who this person is in real life. But it was just astounding. Could be something like that. Like the Scorpio is being recognized for something that they've done, something that's very unique to them, something that is a part of their history, their personal life. I don't know if somebody has, if Scorpio has done, I keep thinking that this is someone who's shown some tremendous act of bravery in the face of great danger. They could have, heaven forbid anybody had to go through something traumatizing, that they had to, step up and be a hero, or they had to, survive it and then come out the other side. And here they are, this totally peaceful person. Nobody would dream that the same peaceful individual in front of them had to, not just survive, but, become the person that they are today, when that is not at all the circumstances that they had found themselves in or that they had to face. I feel like they are mind blown at the Scorpio's life, what Scorpio has been through and who they are today, who's standing in front of them. This Scorpio does not have a typical life story. Everything about them is different. Different things happen to this Scorpio because they are not the run-of-the-mill person, which, okay, to be fair, none of us are run-of-the-mill, right? We'll all have our own experiences, but there are certainly things that are way out of the norm. This is like, oh yeah, one time I was on this airplane and the pilot died and I had to land the plane, no, there's 200 people on board. I just, whatever I had, like I got tapped to step up and do that, whatever happened. Yeah, I had to do that. And I did it. For whatever reason, I was uniquely qualified to be the person who had to step up and do something highly unusual that technically I wasn't qualified to do, but I pulled it off. It's something like grand. It could be something along those lines. That's the kind of person that this Scorpio is. I'm not saying that that's the scenario. I'm just saying things that have happened in this Scorpio's life are like mind-blowing like that. Like, that was you. I read about that in the news. I can't believe that was you. I feel like this person is going to be that amazed by Scorpio. But on the other hand, they're not, because they already knew that there was something different about Scorpio. They were already drawn to Scorpio. We got a 10 of discs, which is a 10 of pentacles. I gotta say, this person is a combination of amazed by who the Scorpio is. And they also, I feel like these drums are like this person's like they're hearing like the blood pound in their head all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, there's so much more. Like, why are they crossing my path? Why am I meeting Scorpio right now? I can already tell that there's a reason I'm meeting you. I feel bonded to you. I'm kind of amazed by you. You're not just someone that I'll forget. This person will never forget Scorpio. They already see that there's some kind of interaction that they're supposed to have. Like, this is the alarm bells ringing in their head going, I'm supposed to meet you. You're important in my life. You're an important person who's crossed my path. I knew it when I first looked at you. Now I get to know something about you that is not surface level. And then it kind of like, it stuns me to learn more about you. And I'm realizing you're important in my life. That's how this person is feeling about Scorpio. I'm wondering, is this a brand new person, or is this the way someone in the past saw Scorpio? 6 of Discs. I feel like this is someone who, I don't know if Scorpio has already been around them a little bit, where they've exchanged. This could be somebody that we did business with, someone we've exchanged currency with. We've dealt with them a little bit, and they just never knew Scorpio's life story. They knew there was something about Scorpio, but they didn't quite know what it was. There's been some kind of interaction that these two have had already, I would argue. And they might, as they learn more about Scorpio, they might also learn that their paths had almost crossed to meet Scorpio prior to now. And they, it's like, oh, wait, you were there? I was there too. When were you there? Oh, 3 years ago. I was there 3.5 years ago. They might be comparing notes and realizing that they could have met Scorpio multiple times in the past, but somehow didn't cross their path until now. I feel like this person is having so many like serendipitous, like hits of awareness. Like, I can't believe that, we've crossed paths, but I never knew this about you, when I knew I was drawn to you for a reason. That's what I feel like somebody is going to keep saying. I knew there was something about you. I knew there was something about you. And I don't think it's necessarily that they're familiar, other than in that esoteric way. Yeah, because we got the High Priestess here and we have the Empress. I think that this is somebody saying, not only did I know that you were going to be important to me, but the thing they may not be admitting, but they know in themselves, is you're the person I'm supposed to marry. You're the person I'm supposed to maybe have kids with, or you're the person that I've been dreaming of, but I can't believe I'm meeting you eyeball to eyeball now. The reason I say that is because the moon up here, which is interesting because it's the moon, but it's shown on like we should think it's a sun, but it's not. It's the moon. There's a person's face. It's almost like this individual is going to say, I've dreamt of this moment where I would meet someone that was significant. I dreamt of, you'd be wearing like a red skirt, or you'd be wearing, red somewhere. And they may not admit this at first, but they had some interesting snapshot. Maybe somebody sits on a really fancy pillow with fringe on it too. Like one of the low, like ottomans or something. But it's as if they already could picture a moment that is going to actually happen with Scorpio. And although they may not necessarily say it to Scorpio may catch them staring in their direction with kind of a stunned expression. And it's a moment of recognition, but I think it's a private moment for them. I know it's hard to explain, right? That we're explaining a private moment somebody else is having about the Scorpio, but the Scorpio is going to pick up on it, but not fully understand what it is that they're seeing. They may say, I can tell this person's having a moment with me. I'm not 100% sure what it means, but I can tell that they're having a moment and it pertains to me. But I think the moment is they're seeing something almost like a deja vu moment or something, or like I say, a dream that they're having, and now they see Scorpio and they recognize that. Okay, tell me just a little bit just about Scorpio then. Queen of Swords. Scorpio comes across as somebody who's extremely organized and structured. They're very truthful with themselves. They hold themselves to a high level of expectation. They may be the entire environment here has such a Japanese decor to it that could factor in also, or that could be somebody's heritage. But there's this element of like the beauty, like someone is drawn toward, cherry blossom trees and Japanese block prints, and maybe they have that on their wall somewhere, or I don't know, there's an element where someone could also work at like a Japanese gardens, like I don't know if they're a ticket taker or something at a Japanese garden, but they've got a really lovely, this Scorpio has a really lovely way about them where it's design and beauty and harmony and like doing things with precision. So our Scorpio is they're very good at working with nature and the pace of nature, but also with structure. I feel like they don't talk a whole lot unless they have something true to say. The sun. And they actually are a really happy person. This Scorpio, they could have twin babies, by the way. Or there's like they see themselves with like a duality in their life, like almost as if this Scorpio has already lived one kind of life and they found a way to be happy, and they also have a parallel life. It's very different from, say that they for 10 years they lived and worked in a whole different environment. I mean, night and day difference from the way they live now. At one point they lived on a houseboat or something, and now they live, in an actual home, brick and mortar. They could have been like much more. I get a vibe that this Scorpio is able to live life in totally different patterns and make it a success and be happy in a lot of different styles of life. There is a real colorful pattern. I think that this Scorpio could be the type of person where they've been very free-spirited, very gypsy style, and then also very like corporate high power job. So it's an interesting blend to see this here. There is something about twinsies here though. Maybe adopting a child or something. And maybe it's even fur babies, but it's like adopting a second child because they want one baby to have, like a little brother or sister, or, like I want my puppy dog to have their own kitty cat to be best friends with. It could be something like that. Yeah, we have the Fool card. I think that we've got such a joyful character. Our Scorpio seems to be someone who is always willing, always ready to let themselves be enveloped in whatever life brings to them. With the Fool card, they are larger than any problem. This is most of the time we see a Fool card where somebody's like leaping off of a cliff. They simply barely even have to step across it. This reminds me of the Colossus of Rhodes, the island of Rhodos, the Greek island, the Colossus statue, which is no longer there, but once upon a time it was one of the 7 wonders of the world, and he stood in such a position, much like this, at the edge of the like peninsulas, I suppose I would call it, the edge of an island, and it was built in such a way that when the first rays of the sunlight came in, it would look like it was like coming across the Colossus, like he was welcoming the sun. And maybe somebody has a Greek background or something, but that's what this is reminiscent of. This is a character who is so full of life, so full of light. It makes sense to me that this other individual is madly in love with them. So all I could say is our Scorpio stands out in their mind and they are having a deja vu moment. Guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you do enjoy the channel, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye.